Hi, I'm Rich. I am a professional motion graphic designer and video editor with Rad Creative. And today we're going to dive into recreating a Pringles advertisement. So, why? Well, I think it's a good consumer ad. It's a brilliant example of distilling a complex message or flavor into a simple and impactful visual presentation. It's a challenge that many of my clients, B2B SaaS brands, face with complex products, but I thought this was a more fun way to showcase this. I'll be recreating it in DaVinci Resolve, my video editing software, and another platform called Jitter, which is a motion graphic software that I use personally. And through this process, I'll hopefully showcase how we approach client work and reverse engineering clarity and effectiveness kind of from a final idea. Let's break down the original. Looking at this ad, it's packed with clever visual cues and lots of dynamic elements. So I can't show the whole thing due to copyright, but what we can do is kind of reverse engineer this thing and its core principles. We're not just copying, we're kind of analyzing how we use this visual storytelling to make an instant impact. For B2B SaaS, this means breaking down complex features into digestible, no pun intended, visually engaging moments. We'll look at maybe the sound, the movement of the elements, transitions between the scenes, how assets are used, just like we dissect a client's product to build a compelling narrative. So I'll even create a custom asset along the way, kind of showing you part of our full process. So we'll start using Jitter. I set up a standard 19 by 20, 1920 by 1080p canvas. This is good for most screens, just how I'd set it up for a HD product video. Okay, so looking at this, we're going to need our brand logo. We're not going to be using Pringles, but our own Rad Creative logo to kind of demonstrate the principles here. So now that we got this initial animation and the Pringles ad in our minds, that little shake, pop, and drop, we can use these not just for chips. They're kind of how we create a crucial data point, feel impactful, and like a SaaS dashboard demo, for example, we can use the same shake, pop, and drop to draw attention to those or to just highlight a key feature instantly. It's about making these elements feel alive, drawing people's eye to your key feature or ultimately the thing that gives it value. So Jitter makes this really simple. It allows us to kind of quickly prototype these dynamic movements. So now we need some filler assets. So the Pringles had a lot of custom things inside of it. They probably had professional photos of their own chips, etc. So rather than creating that from scratch, I'll show you sometimes how we leverage AI to produce these things really quickly and get a mock-up over very soon. So this isn't how every asset is made, but in the interest of time and this video, I'll be using some AI for rapid asset creation that allows us to quickly prototype something. Let's see. This looks good. So this helps us to iterate faster and find the perfect visual for a complex idea and kind of keeping those project timelines efficient. Get a quick background removal in Canva, another accessible tool that helps me to streamline the workflow. And then next, we're going to tackle the text. So let's see. The Pringles ad uses this kind of bold, impactful font. We'll pick something similar to communicate that immediate energy. The focus here is still on the process, how we approach breaking down, complex process into something that is more manageable or animatable elements, right? So this is a bit of a systematic approach. With these systems in place, we can easily update features or swap out product names, create variations, etc. Just making sure that your assets are scalable or future proof. So now for the product shots. The Pringles ad, we see we have these iconic cans sliding in with these backgrounds. So what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate our chip can and have them slide in on different backgrounds. So this kind of fluid motion can represent a seamless integration in a B2B platform, or a smooth transition between different modules, for example. We're looking for those nuanced details to make note of for future. So maybe this grow out effect or burst effects. I think these kind of small touches, elevate that professional feel and really make a big difference in how, a B2B software conveys, elegance or responsiveness in a solution, even if it isn't that elegant or responsive yet. So let's tackle these chips floating in and bursting out. This animation creates, a sense of dynamic action. In B2B, we might use similar fluid movements to illustrate data flowing through a system, instantaneous data transfer, whatever. And those final text effects like this ripple. So just like Pringles uses these for excitement, we can use all kinds of text animations and dynamic movements to highlight key benefits, calls to action, or critical data points. This kind of helps the audience to grasp what's really important or valuable almost instantly. So now with our scenes animated, it's time to assemble everything in DaVinci Resolve. So this is where we bring it all together with elements like music and sound effects. And we're gonna source some royalty-free stuff from YouTube for music, just to ensure that we're clear on copyright. And this is really important to consider for any sort of professional video. So here we're just 2 seconds shy of the original ad's runtime. So we've gotten a pretty similar product by using accessible and powerful tools like DaVinci, totally free, Jitter, I pay a small subscription for. And I think that is important to consider, as a smaller business. It's about leveraging the right tools efficiently to get the job done as best we can. And there it is. Let's watch back this Pringles ad kind of recreated and see how close we are to the original. What this process really underscores for me is kind of the power of distilling this message or idea into something instantly clear and engaging. Even if we're just talking about chips, this is pretty eye-catching, I think. Using basic motion design and some product shots, it can be a lot more elegant, with a B2B tool, leveraging, data or accuracy, UI, right? That's a whole lot more entertaining because maybe your UI is distinctive for your brand, right? But we all know what chips look like. This instantly clear and engaging idea is a principle that holds true for snacks or sophisticated B2B stuff. It's often challenging for sales teams, I found, to really explain these complex features if they have no experience, being in product, right? Or with that maybe marketing speak. Obviously, they received some training, but this helps to cut through all the noise. And they can use these tools, this kind of clarity that video allows to unlock, more attention or gain more attention, over the long term. So if you're curious to see more about how this approach kind of translates to impactful video, definitely check out some more of our stuff. I will be posting more in the future, hopefully. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, found something useful, learned a little bit about our process, and I will see you in the next one.